at the University of Arizona in fall of 2016. So before coming to University of Arizona, I was at the University of Toronto, where I was also a professor. I got to escape the tundra. It's warm here, there's sunshine, it's beautiful. I didn't grow up with guns. I did not shoot a gun for the first time until I was an adult. How I actually started getting interested in the topic as a sociologist was right about when Obama got elected. We don't actually know how many guns Americans own, but it's somewhere around 300 million. But they're also doing something really different now than they were, say, 50 years ago with their guns, which is that they're carrying them in public. That is a huge shift. It's a everyday practice for millions of Americans. As soon as I kind of put all the pieces together, I was, immediately fascinated, and I haven't stopped being fascinated by the topic. So the first book is about concealed carriers. It's about people who open carry. It's about people who see guns as part of everyday life and part of sort of protecting themselves, protecting their families. So one of the themes that I kept hearing was this idea, and this is coming from gun carriers, that when I get stopped by the police shouldn't be threatened by the fact that I have a firearm on me. They should actually see me as sort of part of, that we're all on the same side, and we're all working to deal with the problem of crime, to take protection seriously in all of this. And that made sense, of course, from the perspective of gun carriers, but of course that raises the question of, what do police think? Like, are police okay with, literally millions of people in the US carrying guns on their persons and being licensed to do so? In some states like Arizona, you don't even need a license. If you can legally own it, you can legally carry it. And so what are police thinking about this? So that's the question that I engage in the second book. I talk to police chiefs in Arizona, California, and Michigan.
What I often saw and what I often heard when I talked to police chiefs was sort of this openness to imagining gun carriers as fellow first responders. And this was really in reference to mass shootings. When I looked closely at how they sort of talked about who is the law-abiding citizen that is productive of public order, there were these implicit markers with regard to white middle-class respectability. There was a recent protest in Virginia where there were a variety of white groups and there were African-American groups, and the police seized the guns of African-Americans but not whites. That's pretty much as clear as you can get. If we want to start with addressing the issue of gun violence, we have to start with trauma. 40,000, roughly, more or less, people are killed by guns every year. That's 40,000 communities, families, friendship circles of people who are devastated by that loss. Roughly around 80 to 100,000 people are injured every year by guns. The appeal of guns, the way we talk about guns, the harm obviously that guns do, it's all wrapped up into trauma, and frankly our society's very poor way of dealing with our own trauma and the trauma of those around us.